we've all heard a lot today about Copilot experiences at Build. Underneath all those experiences is Copilot Studio, your single-stop, end-to-end tool that provides a complete lifecycle for creating, publishing, and managing Copilots from a single pane of glass. With Copilot Studio, you can build your very own custom Copilots, or extend and customize all of the Copilot experiences that you've been seeing at Build today. Because really, those are the two key asks we hear from customers. I want to build my own new custom Copilot for my users on this specific channel. Say you want to build an HR Copilot and embed it on your HR website for employees to interact with. Or I want to enable the use of my own business data, my own processes, my own enterprise-specific scenarios into these existing Microsoft Copilot experiences so I can configure and tailor them for my own users. Say you want to surface those same HR experiences into M365 Copilot itself so folks can get HR answers right there in the flow of their work. With Copilot Studio, you can do both of these through one SaaS-based graphical tool. And underneath all of this, Copilot Studio brings together and integrates with a variety of AI technology pieces from across the company, from Azure OpenAI Studio to Azure Cognitive Services to Azure Bot Service and more. Let's have a look at a quick overview of the product.
With generative AI and a powerful dialogue builder, Microsoft Copilot Studio lets you create your own conversational experiences and make them available wherever users are across multiple channels. Click to create a Copilot and describe what you want it to support, providing instructions about behavior and tone, and point it to a website to further infuse it with data. That's it. In just these simple steps, your Copilot is instantly capable of rich, multi-turn conversations. Since Copilot Studio is a full end-to-end SaaS with no infrastructure to deploy or maintain, you can easily publish this to your support site or other channels like Microsoft Teams, so your customers or employees can use it quickly. Or you might want to further infuse your Copilot with additional knowledge by easily adding a number of different data sources from the Knowledge page. Including documents, SharePoint sites, Dataverse, and data from your CRM and ERP systems. Copilot authors no longer need to build and curate hundreds of dialogues for every question a user may ask. Just add your knowledge, your actions, then your topics, and your Copilot will do the rest. Copilot Studio can also extend and customize Microsoft Copilots, like Copilot for Microsoft 365, Copilot for Sales, and Copilot in Dynamics 365 Customer Service, enabling personalized, company-specific use cases with access to back-end systems that Microsoft Copilots don't have existing access to. Extending Microsoft Copilot really is that simple. And with Copilot connectors, you can once again leverage Power Platform connectors, Power Automate flows, or prompts. Once you publish to Microsoft 365, you've now unlocked additional ways Microsoft Copilot can support you and your organization. Microsoft Copilot Studio gives you the power to take actions on your data, backed with the security you've come to expect from Microsoft. Copilot building has changed forever, with unlimited ways to extend and enhance Copilots across a myriad of use cases, thanks to Microsoft Copilot Studio. Try it now at aka.ms/try-Copilot-Studio.
Great. So, as you saw in that little vignette, Copilot Studio covers the full life cycle of Copilot building, from creating your Copilot and publishing it live to analyzing its performance and continually improving it. When you try this out, and you should, you'll see that we've made creating copilots incredibly simple. You can now get started simply by chatting with Copilot Studio and describing what you want to build. You could say, build me a copilot to handle customer service for laptops. Oh, and you know what? It really shouldn't answer any pricing questions. Or you might say, I'd like a copilot that provides HR support for my employees, please. Use the information on my HR SharePoint and this employee handbook file. And voila, your copilot is ready, grounded with those capabilities and specifications. Next, you can add enterprise knowledge to give it all the information specific to your company, your processes, your products, from your company websites, to your files, to your internal SharePoint sites, to now all of your company structured data in Dataverse, in Fabric, in Graph, as well as all your data in various third-party sources. Simply point to those sources, and with a click or two, your Copilot is now an expert over them, ready to answer a host of user questions and chat over all of that knowledge. So the generative part of your Copilot is ready. But companies often also want to have tight control, like step by step, over some business critical topics, like, say, returns or purchases. You can easily supplement the generative AI conversations and specify exactly what you want the Copilot to do when specific topics come up. And you can do this with a few clicks using the built-in powerful graphical studio. If a user asks about disability leave, for example, you can trigger a custom workflow that informs them of their legal rights, asks a set of questions in exact order, looks up their eligibility, and completes and submits their leave application. So you have both generative and custom dialogues in one system, and it will simply orchestrate them for you. You can also build plugins and call actions, from calling your own custom enterprise APIs to connecting to your backends with the thousands of pre-built connectors that come with Copilot Studio. And that's it, you're done. You just publish your Copilot to the channel of your choice, from Teams to your public website to social media or whatever you want it. Or you can choose to add the experiences you've just built to Microsoft 365 Copilot or one of other first-party Copilot experiences. There's no infrastructure to deploy, no models to train, nothing. Your Copilot is instantly live and ready to use. In fact, we often build Copilots for customers during the course of a meeting and publish them live for folks to interact with before the meeting ends. Let's see a demo of this arc in action.
Copilot is incredibly simple with Copilot Studio. Let's say I want to create a Copilot to serve as an HR Copilot for Contoso. I start by simply describing my Copilot and what it will do in natural language. I also ask for it to be friendly but remain professional at all times. I'll also point my Copilot to Contoso's website so employees can ask questions about the company with the answers generated live based on the content, alongside all of the pre-existing knowledge baked right into the Copilot. Finally, I can even specify things I don't want the Copilot to talk about. Great! Now I can instantly test my Copilot right here and iterate on my instructions to further refine my Copilot as needed. Let's go ahead and ask, do employees receive an award after 5 years at the company? As you can see, my Copilot was able to find the information on the website and generated a contextual answer to my question. I can even ask follow-up questions like, how long will it take for it to arrive? And my Copilot is smart enough to know the context of what I'm asking about. Okay, this looks great. And just like that, my new Copilot has been created. I can see the instructions that have been generated based on my earlier answers, and I can easily make changes and iterate on these anytime I need to. The first thing I want to do is give my Copilot some more knowledge. As well as the public website I added earlier, I can add SharePoint sites, upload files, and point it to structured data stored in Dataverse or the Microsoft Graph. I can also leverage thousands of connectors to pull in data from third-party systems. For example, I have information related to training courses held in Dataverse, and I can easily add this to my Copilot's knowledge by using the new Dataverse knowledge source. I simply choose whichever tables I want to add, and in this case, I'll choose training course information. That's it. I've now equipped my Copilot with more information and I can test it right away. Let's ask, what new training courses have been added in the last month? I can see from the citations that this answer came from my Dataverse tables, and the Copilot pulled the answer from just the right relevant rows in my table. Now, I can go ahead and just publish this to get it into the hands of employees right away. After just a few seconds, my new Copilot is published, and I can enable it on a wide variety of channels, like a website, a mobile app, or in this case, Microsoft Teams, which I can turn on with just a click. Now over in Teams, users can chat and get their questions answered instantly with my new Copilot.
Great. So now that our Copilot is live and users are interacting with it, you can get conversational insights into how it's working right there in Copilot Studio. You can see what the generative system is doing, where it's successfully answering questions, and where it doesn't yet have the necessary knowledge or tools to respond. For example, you could see the system is struggling to answer questions about your return policy. And you can easily provide a link to the policy and give it that knowledge. And now that particular problem is solved. Or you could see that many people seem to end up having to talk to a human agent when they try to change their payment method for their orders. And you can quickly create a topic to handle that with a few clicks. You can even easily connect to all of Microsoft's other conversational AI services and tools. For instance, you could build a custom fine-tuned model in Azure AI Studio and easily use that model inside of your Copilot. So let's continue our demo with this analyze and improve part of our arc.
To users, it's vital to understand how it's being used, what is working well, and most importantly, where should you focus your valuable time on enhancing your Copilot? Thanks to the expanded built-in analytics in Copilot Studio, it's easy for me to get actionable insights. As a maker, I'm now able to understand the top themes of questions users are asking and review the top themes of user queries that my Copilot could not answer. This helps me identify major gaps and take immediate action to improve the performance. For example, as you can see in the new CSAT tab, there are two themes of user queries where users are dissatisfied. One when they are asking about the new updated vacation policy, and the second when they try to apply for short-term disability leave. I'm able to drill into those two themes and see that for the most frequently asked topic, there is a high escalation rate leading to dissatisfaction. I can even see content moderation metrics and easily see exactly where you don't have the necessary knowledge to answer the question. You now have full transparency and understanding of how you can improve these capabilities and actionable insights for the answers generated off of your existing data. I can see where my Copilot has blocked harmful content, jailbreak attempts, and ungrounded content, giving me confidence that my Copilot is secure. So let's give my Copilot some additional capabilities. For example, I would like the Copilot to check vacation balances and submit for time off approvals. To do this, I'll start by adding an additional file that has the vacation and time off policies for Contoso. This document includes various tables and rich media. Fortunately, with our new multimodal capabilities, which use GPT-4v, Copilots can now interpret images, diagrams, and tables embedded with documents. This enables Copilots to extract and relay crucial visual data along with scanning the text components of that knowledge source. Employees can now ask, how many vacation days do I get a year? And the Copilot can use and understand the table within this policy document to relay that they have 15 days since they've been with the company for less than 5 years. Continuing my efforts to address the escalation themes around vacation, I also want to add an action to retrieve the vacation balance for employees, so employees can easily find out how many days they have available. Vacation data is held in an external system, so I will add a custom connector to connect to that backend. As you can see, I can customize and configure the description and all of the inputs and outputs that are required. Finally, I want to build a topic to allow employees to submit a new disability leave request. Contoso has a step-by-step process that such requests need to go through for legal reasons. For scenarios where more control is needed and repeatable workflows need to be carried out, I can create a specific workflow for the Copilot to use when the user brings up a specific topic. Creating this is simple. I'll just describe the topic I want to create. Create me a short-term disability request, ask for the start date, how many days off the employee would like approval for, and if they've spoken with their manager about the request yet. As you can see, the topic has been created with everything generated for me. I can continue to iterate on this topic and expand it further. Let's go ahead and add a flow to look up the employee's manager and another action to send the request via email for approval. Now I can go ahead and test the topic and see each step of the dialogue successfully being carried out. I see all the information I need to get a time off approval sent to my manager. At this point, the Copilot can both provide generative answers over a set of knowledge and can trigger specific workflows for a specific need, which is a common enterprise ask, all within one system. And again, I can simply publish these updates and see them immediately reflected in the live Copilot deployed in Teams.
So there you have it, a complete end-to-end lifecycle for creating, managing, publishing, analyzing, iterating Copilots from one single unified SaaS-based experience. Now, I'd like to pause for a second and just call out the sheer amount of functionality that's packed into what we just saw. What would you do if you wanted to build a Copilot without using Copilot Studio? Well, you'd create a subscription in OpenAI and configure your LLM model, and then you'd set up a vector database, an index for all of your knowledge, and create a vector search over it. You'd build some custom workflows and dialogues in another system, and then you'd train an NL model for triggering those custom workflows. And then you'd build an orchestrator to arbitrate between the generative and the dialogue systems. And then you'd host your generative model and services. And then you'd build custom connections to all of your backends. And then you'd build a custom analytics and reporting pipeline, and more and more. Or you could use Copilot Studio and be up and running in minutes, not months. So we've seen how to create our own enterprise-specific Copilot experiences with Copilot Studio. Let's see how simple it is to publish those same experiences into M365 or any of the other Microsoft Copilot experiences.
Just how easy it was to create a custom Copilot and deploy it on Teams, my own website, or the channel of my choice. But I'm also able to extend Copilot for Microsoft 365 with the Copilots I make as well, so users can interact with my enterprise scenarios right inside of Microsoft Copilot. From the library, you'll see I can select a Copilot I've previously made and publish it right to Copilot for Microsoft 365. Once it's public, I'll head over to Microsoft 365 Copilot and start chatting with it right there. I can also add the same Copilot to Teams. I can speak to it one-on-one and see prompts right there that I could get started with. I can also add it to group chats, so all members of the chat can interact with this Copilot together.
So, easy. The same building experience, the same custom Copilot experiences that we just walked through. You can choose to publish them and infuse them into any of the Microsoft first-party Copilot experiences. And the same extension pattern that you just saw holds for all Microsoft Copilot experiences. Copilot Studio extends them all.